Alright, so there's gonna be a few sections of this guide. The first one is gonna be the basic moveset, which I think everyone knows, but you know, for the beginners it's good to have in a guide. Second one will be the more advanced moveset, you know, like soft feints and all that jazz. And the last section will be my tips and tricks. So yeah, hope you'll enjoy this guide. Peacekeeper's light attacks, both light attacks, she only has 2 light attacks in her chain, both of them do 15 damage. It used to be, I think, the first one 14 and the finisher was 15, and now recently they changed it, so both of the light attacks are 15 damage. Her second combo is 2 heavy attacks. The first one, if it's a side heavy attack, yeah, I said it right, whatever. If it's a side, it does 20 damage, and every heavy attack finisher does 23 damage. Bullshit, 27 damage. And the first top heavy does 23 damage, and any heavy finisher does 27 damage even if it's top or side, because the first heavy attack is slower than the side heavies, but the finisher heavy attacks are the same speed. Her last combo is either light then a heavy, or light, light and a heavy. And as I said before, the finisher heavy attacks do 27 damage and the light attacks do 15 damage. PK, unlike other characters, doesn't have the out of guard, I don't know what to call it, running attack? Or something like, you know, the thing that slides all over the whole map and catches you. She doesn't have that, but she has an out of guard break that is undodgeable from recent patches. At least I read that. But I don't think it is, because people are dodging my guard break. How? I don't know. Whatever. Here it is. So, speaking of guard break, she has 2 options. The first one is using 3 light attacks, which is the triple stab, you know, her signature movement, the step, step, step. And the other option is a side heavy. In the past she couldn't do that, she could only stab people, but now you can do a side heavy and use it to further combo, or, you know, to just execute your opponent. And how do you do the triple stab? Because I often did that mistake myself. You thought, oh, okay, I just guard break and spam the shit out of light attack, but no. I just spammed the light attack and you saw that I only did 1 stab. As soon as you stab your opponent, you press the button again. You can do it slowly or fast, I'll show you both of the ways. That was the slow stabbing. And it was the fast stabbing. To compensate for her lack of combos, she can, after every heavy attack, you can press the light attack, and the move is called Deep Gouge, and you will bleed your opponent. What I personally love about PK is her dodging attacks. Yeah, because first of all, they are heavy attacks, so if your opponent parries you, they can't punish you that hard. And the second is, when you do a deflect, you have to press the light attack. Or not every, but a lot of other assassins, they have dodge attacks with light attack and deflect with light attack as well, so you can really see if they did that on purpose or not. But with PK, you can look stylish because, you know, heavy attack and light attack, there's a difference. Yeah. As PK is an assassin, she has that fucked up reflex guard, but I think everyone knows that. And her deflect is an unblockable stab that does quite a lot of damage and applies bleed. But at least my problem is that you sometimes can't even do the deflect. For example, with Nuxia, she has so fast light attacks that if you deflect light attack and don't do the deflect soon enough, she will just hit you again and your deflect will be ruined. The deflect does in total 35 damage, so it's her most damaging ability or move. Yeah, move sounds better. And as for her zone, you will see a lot of PK spam this ability because her zone is her fastest attack. I personally use a lot of zones. The first part of her zone is a light attack, and the second part of her zone is a heavy attack, in which the first part does 15 damage and the second part does 20 damage. And you can feint the second part because it's a heavy attack. You can feint it or soft feint it into a dagger cancel, but about soft feints later on. I think that's all for her basic moveset. If I forgot about something, please let me know in the comments. But I think that's all, at least the, basic main thingies. So let's move on to the advanced moves. Yeah. So the first thing is gonna be her soft feints. She can either soft feint her heavies. Now, what else do you wanna feint? Soft feint her heavies into dagger cancel, which is a top bleed attack, or into guard break. You can cancel dodge attacks, and yeah, that's all. You can't cancel dodge attacks, and you can soft feint the second part of the zone into dagger cancel, but not into a guard break. Back to the guard break, if you use the stabs, which is the light attacks, the free light attacks, you can at any point stop and press your guard break again to throw your opponent away or in the wall or whatever. And this is used when your opponent is near a wall, so you can dodge forward, attack him for more damage. You've got to be careful with this, because the first two examples he was really close to the wall, so even though I landed it because he's not blocking, the enemy, if the enemy hits the wall too early, he or she, your enemy, can block or even parry your dodge attack. So the last example is the best one. The further the enemy is from the wall, the safer you are if doing this move. So be really careful, master this, calculate the distance between you, your opponent and the wall. Even I to this day do a lot of mistakes doing this move. So be careful and practice it a lot. Her punishes. After a heavy parry, you can do a light attack and continue your combo or just stop there. After a light parry, your most damaging punish would be a top heavy. That does 23 damage because your side heavies do 20 damage. If you drop your opponent to the ground, I don't really know about this, you know, like if he's already out of stamina or whatever. If your opponent falls to the ground, your biggest punish is doing light and a heavy. As this heavy is a finisher heavy, it will do 27 damage, and after the heavy do a deep gouge, which applies the bleed after the heavy attack. And her out of stamina guard break punish, the best one is do a double stab, then throw your opponent to the ground, dodge forward to him, don't do a dodge attack, but dodge forward, then do a heavy attack, top heavy attack, follow it up by a deep gouge, or just further chain it. I, to the recent times, thought that PK had this unique ability to feint heavy attacks with her dodge, but I found out that Berserker then can do that too, but whatever. She can feint her heavy attacks with dodge, so you can either do just, you know, to what the fuck is that called? To trick your opponent, you can just do heavy and a dodge, you know, instead of normally feinting it. Or you can do heavy and then a dodge attack, which is my... I just like that move a lot. Now for my favorite part, the tips and tricks. So my first tip or trick or whatever is that after a heavy, for more damage, and you know it's more risky but whatever, after a normal heavy you would do a deep gouge, you know, for the guaranteed bleed. But you can, after a heavy, soft swain the finisher heavy into a dagger cancel, which does more damage than the deep gouge bleed. So if you feel a little bit risky and want something more, just do a heavy, don't do a deep gouge, do heavy, do another heavy and soft swain it into a dagger cancel, and boom, you've got 5 more damage, and you will piss your opponent off. Trust me on that one. As for my second tip, is going to be, it's not really a combo, but I call it a combo because it looks like a combo. It's, if you're, you know, it's about your opponent. You must just learn to adapt, read your opponent, do 2 dagger cancels, one after another, and let the third heavy fly. And right here, excuse me, I'm just gonna use, you know, one of my videos as a reference point. Right here, you can see something that you don't always have to, from the guard break, go for the triple step, even though it's more damage. You can still go for the side heavies, even though not for execution. Just look at this. There was the guard break heavy. Now I start another heavy, soft fade it into guard break again. And that's 2 free heavies, one after another.
You capture Zone A.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, for the love of God, don't ever soft feint your top heavy into a dagger cancel, because both of those attacks go from the same side, you know? So that would be kinda useless. And right here we can see an example of the guard break with 2 steps and then throw your foes into a wall.
Zone A.
Excellently done, I must say. And right here we will see an example of a heavy attack, soft feinted into a dodge heavy. Right there. I will rewind it. Now. Okay, before as I was talking about that combo, not combo, you know, the dagger cancel, and then let the heavy fly. I've gotta say, don't soft feint that into dagger cancel that often, because people start, or not start, but they are expecting it from PKs, because she doesn't have really much. So they expect you to, you know, dagger cancel, and they're gonna parry you, and since it's a top light, then they're gonna punish you more. So, you know, just throw some heavies, feint them, see if their guard is changing into the top, you know, and just try to read your opponent. And now I'll show you the super Enyo Nuno Moncho Bene combo I was talking about. Isn't it just beautiful? I think it is. And as I sit here editing this guide, which took me, I don't know, about 3 hours of editing, as you can see in the top right, bottom right, it's 2:49 in the morning. I gotta say thank you to everyone that's, watching my videos, my small little channel, and every supportive comment, like, whatever, just everything. I'm doing it for fun, and it's amazing to see the feedback from you guys. And someone actually asked me to do this guide, so I thought, why not do it? Since I just play PK, I don't play anything else, so I'm really experienced with her, even though I'm not that high of a reputation. So yeah, once again, thank you guys very, very, very much for all the love, all the support. And I hope you enjoyed this guide, maybe learned something new. And I will see you in my next dump video. Bye.